we are back with our known segment called Who Got Next, and we got a special guest for you guys. He goes by the name of a year that is a couple years after I was born. But before I get into the name, Q, I'm gonna kick it over to you before we get into his background and who he is, and let the people know, man. Come on, man, you got any words?
What's up? What's up?
You got. Can you speak? Can you speak?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You kicking it to me? What's
yeah,
up?
Man. I'm kicking it to you, then to kick it to him, man. You know how this goes.
Oh, got you.
What is going on, dude? Oh man.
I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you do it. Go ahead.
All right. So, young dude out of the VA area, DMV.
Sir.
I'm saying one of the guys who I think is leading the new age movement out here, man. We talk a lot about that, but he goes by the name of 1990 Bishop. Is that
sir? Yes, sir.
1990 Bishop, man. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's good with y'all? Appreciate y'all having me on here, filming. Shout out to Absolutely. The podcast. I listened to the one episode 65, a little bit of that while I was on my homework last night. Because y'all was talking about melodic rap. I'm actually a big fan of Don Toliver too, and NLE Chopper for real. But
okay.
Yeah, no, I listened to that podcast. It was fine.
Okay.
Appreciate that, man.
You've been listening to your music too, man.
Appreciate
I was going to say, like, you are somebody that's very versatile.
Yes.
I feel like, you're very unpredictable of which way you're going to go as a musician. So my question to you is actually, what type of musician would you call yourself?
I just call myself an artist, to be honest, because there's like so many things that I want to do. Like, I want to do everything, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy so many different types of music. Like, I'll go from listening to like MF Doom to Don Toliver, you know what I mean, to who else? To Michael Jackson, to Justin Timberlake, to, you know what I mean? Just like every artist, I just like melodies, and I just like rap, like lyrics. So I like everything, you know what I mean? And when you like everything, you want to do everything. But I feel like I've set myself up to not only be in one category, like you said. Like, it's unpredictable so far, and I want to keep it that way. Like, just unpredictable, to be honest.
Okay, that's a hell of a mix right there.
Yeah,
that is a hell of a mix. MF Doom, Michael Jackson, like them two, them two are in completely different areas of the world.
Completely different.
And that's what I love, because when you hear mainly those new up and coming artists, that's who they aspire to be, a wide variety of people.
Right.
That tells me something,
right.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah, that's true, man. I never really got into MF Doom's background. I just know he has a cult following. That shit is crazy. Like, man. Does anybody know what he looks like? That's my question.
Actually, there is some pictures of him on Google, like, if you really look, but he really doesn't have that many pictures without the mask on.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like, shout out to him for really keeping that persona, because I mean, that's hard to do. You know what I mean? Like,
that is
no pictures of you for real. Like, that's crazy.
You know who seems to be following that footstep that I'm noticing is Marshmello. Does anybody know what Marshmello really looks like?
That's facts. I don't know.
I've not seen Marshmello's face. Marshmello's face. Or see
for all we know, Marshmello could be Donald Trump. I'm just, what I'm saying.
I don't think Marshmello is chubby.
All right. Good point. All right. You know what? I got a question though for you. And so, Q just asked you about the type of artist you are. And I know it's hard to label you, so you consider yourself an artist, and that makes perfect sense. But like, when did you start even making music in the first place? And then also, how'd you get your name, man? Because like, I noticed the 1990, but there has to be a wider story behind that. So
yeah, so I first started making music in 2015. 2015. I had just turned 2014. My bad, because I had just turned 15, and it was that summer when I just turned 15, because my birthday's in June, and me and my boy Hunter, we were just like, he had already been writing raps and stuff, and I was just a skateboarder, to be honest. Like, I just skated, and I played basketball a little bit. But he was already writing raps and stuff like that, and he was like, "Bro, you should try this." You know what I mean? And the first beat that I actually went on was an Earl Sweatshirt type beat. I think it was actually a Earl Sweatshirt. No, it's funny because it was a Gucci beat, the Lemonade beat or whatever that Earl went on.
Yeah.
That inspired me to go on Earl type beat, but it was kind of like one of those like more like happy type beats. I think I forget which one it is, but it was something like that. And then after I did that, I just fell in love with it because I was just like, this is so fun.
Right.
And I wasn't really taking it serious till like 2018 for real. Because all through 2015 and 2018, I was just kind of just dropping whatever on SoundCloud. Like I wasn't something that I was really taking too serious. I was still more focused on like skateboarding, school, and basketball. But the name 1990 Bishop, my original rap name was Kid Bish, and I didn't like that name because I was like, eventually I'm not gonna be a kid, obviously. And then there's also just a lot of people named like Kid something, Kid Cudi, things like that. And then 1990 came about because I was trying to eventually I still am going to change my name and it's just going to be just Bishop. But the reason why it's not that right now is because if you search up just Bishop right now, my music won't come up. So I had to put like something in front of the name to make it so that when you search it up, it would come up first. And so at that point, I had a collective of people that I worked with, and they were all born in the 90s. So I was like, let's just go by 1990, you know what I mean? Just make that like our kind of like collective name and just kind of something that would make it so that when you looked up the name, it would actually come up. You know what I mean? So it's actually not really too much of a background story to that, for real.
That's actually smart, man. Very strategic of you, man.
Search engine optimization right there.
Yeah, feel me? Exactly. You over here. You just described search engine optimization. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? To its core.
Yeah.
Like you could call yourself Kid forever, man. Like Kid could be like 60 years old.
That's facts. I wasn't a fan of the name Kid, to be honest. Like the Kid Bish, like I don't know, I just didn't sit well with me, to be honest. It's not really. You're right. You could call yourself Kid forever, but I personally wouldn't want to be called Kid as an adult. You know what I mean? But
what about Lil? How about Lil? Would you go with that?
Nah, just because there's so many Lils. Like, Lil's even worse because there's just so many of them now. You know what I mean? Like, every time you go on SoundCloud, it's a new Lil something. So
I feel you, man.
There's Baby. There's the Baby Keem.
Baby Keem.
Baby's not as bad, I guess, because there's a little bit less of those. But I mean, now we got Baby Gucci. We got Baby Keem. We got Baby Scumbag. We got a lot of babies too. So little baby.
Damn, that's crazy.
Somebody got to come up with adolescent.
Yeah.
Adolescent.
Hey, what's up? But what's up with everybody wanting to be young, man? What's up with the old people? Why don't we old? Why don't old be the one?
Old
Yo, that'd be fucking bastard. Bro, if somebody a young dude came out right now and called themselves Old Scumbag, that shit would be fire.
That shit would be fire.
That shit would be fucking fire, huh?
Yeah. That would actually be fire.
That is funny. So, I guess you mentioned that you like melodic rap.
Yeah.
So what would you say deciphers yourself from other people that do melodic rap?
Number one, I think my lyrics, because a lot of like the modern rap and new wave rap is just kind of like, pull up with a stick, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Just like kind of like on that hard, like even if it's not like the main focus of their music is being hard, it's still like an underlying factor of them being like hard. And like, I don't really talk about that in my music. So like I don't really like use profanity as much in my music too. So it kind of forces me to have just like different lyrics from everybody else. You know what I mean? So that's just all, that's not me not even trying to be different. It's just kind of like something that's kind of like in me, you know what I mean? But then also, I think what also separates me is the type of melodies that I actually do. They're just very like unpredictable, like you said. Like a lot of people hear my songs and they tell me that like they're not expecting like the certain words that I use, and just when you use different words, it just makes different melodies. You know what I mean? Because different words come off different of the tongue. So
that's
true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just stuff like that, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, because like you said, everybody. The melodic rappers, I think there's like go-to lines.
Right, exactly.
That a lot of melodic rappers use. Like,
Exactly.
100%.
It's still dope to listen to, but like,
Right. Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
you could expand, like if you can do something different, because I think, you know, in this day and age, the name of the game is how can you be unique? How can
Right.
you stand out? And
Right.
so I think just as simple as lyrics. And another thing too that a lot of people don't realize is that melodies can get complex.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people just think it's like, oh yeah, just nod your head.
Right.
Nah, melodies can be intricate and complex.
Right.
And so I think that's big if you want to decipher yourself.
For sure. No, that's definitely facts.
1000%, man. And you know, speaking of the melodies and whatnot, and the fact that I didn't even realize that, you know, it's crazy, man. When you listen to people's music, that type of detail, unless you told me that, I don't think I would have known that you don't curse.
Yeah.
I don't think I picked that up, honestly. But
Yeah, most people don't.
yeah. So what? Take me to like walk me through your creative process. You know, like generally when you're making songs, beats, or whatever it is that you're doing, how do you come up with
So,
concepts and how do you lay that down?
I usually freestyle my songs, like not in the terms of like freestyle, like you just like do one take and go all through, but I freestyle like each line. So like I never like actually write my songs out. What I'll do is I'll listen to the beat. I'll kind of like hum some melodies on it to kind of like see what type of vibe I want to go for, and then I'll just kind of like make lyrics that fit those melodies. But sometimes I do the other way around too. Sometimes I'll like hear like a sentence in my head, and I'll make that sentence into a melody. You know what I mean? So it's always kind of just like free flowing, because I feel like if you, at least for me, when I write it, it doesn't sound as natural.
Yeah.
So I just freestyle each line.
That's crazy, man. Because
Yeah.
so I've heard this term be used a lot in recent history,
Mhm.
where they say artists are punching in lyrics.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
That's basically what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like I remember, man, I'm trying to think of like the first person I ever heard that said they didn't write their lyrics. It's probably Wayne, for real, for real. I ain't even gonna lie. It's probably Wayne.
Jay used to say it.
Jay used to say it. That's a fact. I'm not saying Wayne's the only person. I'm just saying like the first person that I really heard say and like truly kind of could feel it, like even in the
Right.
music. You know what I'm saying? Because you can kind of get the vibe and see that this is really coming from a creative standpoint. So that makes
Right.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
So
nah,
Ooch, as a musician yourself, like somebody that's dabbled in music,
right.
Yeah.
I guess this is a question for both of y'all, because I try to rap, but I was awful. Like, what is it about freestyling that makes it, I guess, easier for you guys?
Shit, I'm gonna answer this first because Bish is the actual artist right now. So I'm gonna get mine out the way. I don't know, man. I feel like it's the most natural and creative way. Like like everything that you say and feel gets directly translated onto the actual production, and it's probably the most authentic form of music, for real, for real. Granted, of course, you can write songs, and that's great too. But like the punch-in style is definitely the most organic, I would say.
Yeah.
But that's me, as somebody who does not make music anymore. What do you think?
For me, the reason why I think freestyling is easier for me is because, like I said, whenever I write it and then like I try to put it onto the song, it usually just doesn't vibe as good as it would if I just like were to hum it and then kind of like just, you know what I mean, like just make it sound right. You know what I mean? When I write a song, I feel like it's not the best that it could sound. You know what I mean? Like it might still come out good, but it might not be the best that it can sound. But don't get me wrong, like if there's like a certain part of a song where I really want to like say something more deep, like I won't write it, but I'll take my time freestyling it. You know what I mean? Like I'll kind of like actually think about, all right, what am I gonna say, blah blah blah, and then like take my time and do it. Like I still won't write it, but I'll definitely like actually think about it and not just say the first thing that comes to my head. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that makes perfect sense.
It's a great answer. So
It is.
if in this world, right, like you had an ultimatum right now, skating or rapping, one of them, you gotta pick one.
I'll definitely go with music making, just because I don't even skate for right now. I definitely like music more, just because I feel like it's more of an expression of myself than skating is. But I mean I don't think I ever had that ultimatum, so I'm still skate every day. Is when I get my new board, you know what I mean? So yeah.
I got another ultimatum for you, real quick, Uch. I got another ultimatum for you.
What's happening?
This is the most important one to me, and I ask everybody this: Nickelodeon or Disney when you were growing up?
I'd have to go with Nickelodeon, just because I was more into cartoons than I was into the real people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there
There
a
you go.
favorite cartoon that you had growing up?
Shoot. Favorite cartoon? I watched a lot of cartoons on Cartoon Network too. I liked Ben 10. I liked Static Shock. I liked
Those are the ones. Low
what
key,
else?
Cartoon Network had them all, man.
Facts. What else? Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yo, yeah.
What else?
Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie was funny too.
Johnny Bravo. All of them.
Johnny Bravo. Yeah, Cartoon Network had the sauce for real.
They did. They really
It
did.
definitely did. And
Yo,
Nickelodeon was a good answer. I had Nickelodeon, but I think I had Nickelodeon by default as a kid because we had like cable that did not have Disney. So
Disney just always seemed a little cheesy to me, to be honest. Like it just always seemed kind of cheesy.
Was a little cheesy. It was.
Bro, I never watched Disney. I was not into that. It really wasn't, man.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up really is because a lot of these people that make music, they get a lot of inspiration from cartoons.
Right.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Like even their chains. Some people got cartoon chains and
Facts.
all that stuff. So I was curious to know.
Bro,
what's
the
underground? I know. I was gonna say in the underground, I know a lot of people are into like. There's like a big anime culture too.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
It's definitely a thing. Bro, I'm trying to think of the cartoon that like everybody keeps for the last 3 years. People keep referencing. Oh man, cannot think of the name. Some genius boy laboratory. Not Dexter's Laboratory. No. Not Jimmy Is it Jimmy Neutron? Fuck.
Maybe.
Yo, there's a rep that people keep referencing the same cartoon, but anyway, that's a good answer, man. Nickelodeon was the shit. I got an observation though that I noticed when I listened to your music, and you put out really short projects, like 7 songs. I feel like that's like the limit. I don't think I've seen one over that.
I haven't really. So the first project I put out, the Bad Enough one, that one. I mean, honestly, all my projects, none of them are really like super official. They were all just kind of like, I feel like dropping a project, and I kind of just like throw songs that I've had together into a project. Just because I don't feel like I've ever had like the production that I really wanted to make like a real album. You know what I mean? So I kind of they're kind of all just kind of mixtapes for real.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you bring up Bad Enough because I feel like that was the project that I noticed you had the same beat as Lil Uzi Vert in his song That's a Rack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did it first too.
Yeah. What is that? Yeah, like how did that come about, man? Like, cause clearly you got a good ear. You got a good ear, man. You got a good ear.
That melody was actually just like a loop that a lot of producers were using at the time. So when one of my producers sent it to me, as soon as I heard the melody, I was like, yo, this is fire. So I just hopped on it. And then when I heard Uzi come out with this song, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, yeah, no, for sure. It did sound like an Uzi melody, but like when I heard it, I was like, this sounds like something Uzi would go on. So
that
makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I personally don't think that the DMV hip hop scene is as big as it should be. Like, I feel like this area is way too influential when it comes to culture. And I don't feel like there's many artists, rappers, singers that are as big as other, places. Don't get me wrong. We got Wale, we got Ari Lennox, we got great artists.
Shot Glizzy.
We got Gold Link.
But I just feel like, they're not as big as other artists from these other cities. So I say this. I think you have like that it factor to be able to take things to the next level. And you're the next generation of DMV hip hop. When you make music, is that stuff that you think about? Like, I gotta carry on to that next generation, or is it just
I don't really think of it like that necessarily. I think of it more from a standpoint of like um just artistry in general. Like I want to be the next generation of just artists in general, like no matter where you're from. But I do feel like a part of the problem of the DMV scene and why a lot of people aren't as big is because a lot of artists, like they might get that local following in the DMV, and I feel like that following is kind of like a cult following. And I don't know, like it's kind of a specific sound, you know what I mean? Like especially for the rappers, like the street rappers and stuff like that. I feel like we need to have more of a scene here for like pop artists and people that are gonna make stuff that's gonna be like radio ready type stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't really have that scene yet. I think that's why we don't have like the big artists.
It's a great answer.
Interesting.
So
I basically,
100% agree with that.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. And you're right. You're right. You think about all the people you named, Q. A lot of people are, I mean, I don't want to say backpack rappers, but it's like, yeah, they have either you're super trap or you are like a backpack rapper where like your sound is not very grand. It doesn't, it can't really leave the city. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
yeah.
Universal. Yeah,
exactly.
I mentioned IDK. IDK is great. But
another guy.
And Rico Nasty is somebody I think that experiments. Rico Nasty, I think if she's
fire.
On the path that she's going on, she's definitely up there for stardom.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to ask you, man. You know, it's interesting because even with your features that you put out, your songs that you put out, I see features on there. I'm not really familiar with the names. So like 2 questions. How do you determine who you want to collaborate with? Because it seems like you collaborate with a bunch of different type of artists, music wise. And then also, what's the plan for new music dropping from you, man? You got a strategy coming up or what?
So as far as like artists I collab with, I actually don't collab with too many people. I only collab with really my boys like Taco Fredo. He's one that I collab with all the time. Tamla Mazzy. But those are 2 dudes like they're from my neighborhood. Like I was already making music, and then I was like when they told me that they wanted to make music, I kind of just like brought them on board. I was just like, all right, let's just do this. Let's come up together type beat. And what else? For production wise, yeah, it's my other dude, Ronnie Chalk. He's from Virginia too. Super Kid. I do have Super Kid, and he's from Europe actually. But I keep my circle pretty small as far as people I collaborate with. And sometimes it's by choice. Sometimes it's because other people like, you know, they have more numbers, so they don't really want to collab. But that's fine. I understand that. But yeah, no, it's not too many people for real. It's probably like five people, different people I really collab with for real.
Yeah. But I mean, even with those people though, I from what I can tell, like they have a different sound than you. Like you guys are not necessarily, and I'm not talking about the producer you mentioned, but like the artist, like they don't really sound like you. So like, what makes you? But I think I got my answer. You know them personally.
Yeah.
So that's a little different.
Exactly.
That's a little different. But okay, so second question was, you got any new music dropping soon that you want the people to know about?
Yeah, I'm actually about to drop a song today, for real. I've been trying to just drop every week recently because, like I told you before when we were talking on the phone, when I was dropping consistently back in like 2018, when I first started taking it serious, that's when I had like I think my most active followers, and it was because I was dropping consistently. So I'm just going back to that now. I'm just trying to drop more. And in my music, I think the reason why I slowed down is because it was more of a process of me like actually like trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to sound and how do I make this better, take it to the next level. And now that I feel like I've gotten to like a point where I can actually drop consistently every week and it'll be like solid music. You know what I mean? Whereas before it was like I had to take maybe 2-3 weeks to actually come up with a solid song. Now it's like I can cook up 3 solid songs in a week, you know what I mean, and drop one and have another one ready. But, you know, at the same time, cook up another 3 solid songs the next week. And maybe I go, oh, never mind, the ones from last week weren't even as good. That happens a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm just always trying to improve. But now I feel like I'm improving at a much faster rate so I can drop every week again.
I like the model. I like the model, man. It's proven. Russ is one of them dudes that's been doing it for a long time.
Yep.
Started from SoundCloud, dropped the song every week, built the fan base. Even now that he's quote unquote made it, he's still dropping a song every week.
Yep.
That's a model that works. If you got the material, you can actually do that. Because I feel like every artist can't do that. I don't feel that way. You got to really be a different type of artist.
You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry too.
You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry, but you also have to be dynamic. You have to be a dynamic artist to be able to come up with that much content.
Yes. Because writer's block comes about, right?
It does. And then also a lot of these artists, they like make the same songs over and over in different ways. So like it kind of like I feel like that doesn't really help. If you're dropping every week and it's almost the same type of song every time, it doesn't really help. I try to switch it up a lot. So
okay, I like that, man. Like, is there a particular thing that you need when you're in the studio when you're creating your music? Like, do you need like I don't know,
water? I need my water.
Water.
That's really it, for real. Yeah, some water.
Which you needed like all kinds of stuff, right? You needed candles. You needed.
Relax. That's not true. What are you talking? What is this guy talking about? hey, listen. Look, hey, don't let anybody fool you. This guy Quincy could actually rap. I know he doesn't actually say it, but he could actually rap. He could rap better. He couldn't rap better than me, but I mean, he could rap though. You know what I'm saying?
We burnt that catalog. That catalog's long gone.
I still got it. Hey, I might drop a song from this guy tonight from 10 years ago.
Be prepared to talk to Judge Judy in the morning.
Judge Judy.
Lawsuits is coming your way.
Oh man.
I think definitely dope, man. I'm definitely checking for your music, man.
Appreciate it.
Checking for your music.
Yeah, we tuned in, man. We tuned in. We like the momentum. We like your artistry, man, for real. So how can the people find you? Where can they find you? Where do you want them to listen to your music at? Like
so right now, if you want to listen to my most recent music and you want to be up to date on those weekly drops, you gotta listen on SoundCloud, 1990bishop, just 1990 BISHOP, one word. But if you want to listen on streaming platforms, there's it's the same name on all streaming platforms. You're just going to be listening to like the more official releases. You might not hear every single weekly drop, but you're going to still get music at least like once or twice a month. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, we're looking forward to it. I'm sure the people are too, man. You I think you're going to get introduced to a whole new group of people who probably didn't know who you are. So yeah, man. Q, you got anything else?
Keep it going.
Appreciate it.
And reconsider. Maybe you can have like Kid Bish as like your secondary name, like or maybe an alter ego.
Yeah,
like
I still do
had killed Edward. You still, I like that name.
Yeah.
Man. I actually like that name. It's right. It rolls.
Hey,
no,
old Bishop. I promise you, that's the one. that's the one. That's the one. You say you want to change it, Old Bishop. That's gonna get people turning like, who the fuck is Old Bishop? What the fuck is that? And then you just hit him with some fire.
Ooch, do you know search engine optimization, Old Bishop? Do you know how hard it would be to find him?
Hey, Old Bishop kind of sounds like this weak.
It's gonna be
liquor.
Like church gonna come out.
It sounds like this liquor that's pretty trash. Like I'm not even gonna lie.
No, I'm looking up Old Bishop right now. Old Bishop comes up with some Twitch streamer, and then you got
How much you want to bet he's? How much you want to bet he's young as fuck? How much you want to bet Old Bishop?
Probably. Then there comes up Old Bishop Farms.
Old Bishop.
There you go, man. Hey, trademark that ASAP. I think you still got a chance, man. Hey, 1900. I said 1900. 1990 Bishop, man. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. You doing what you doing?
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, for sure, man. We're gonna holler at you later, man. All right.
For sure. Thank y'all for having me on here, for real.
For sure.
Hey, peace.
Much love.
Yes, sir.